Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. For the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this for the first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense is because here we discuss issues and we try to find sensible solutions to those issues. Unfortunately, not everyone uses logic. For that reason, it's called uncommon sense. I just want to let everybody know that right now I'm currently live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope on Twitter. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to briefly discuss traveling tips when you are flying. I just want to encourage everyone to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do go live or I do prepare content, you will be notified. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share. And I see there's already 3 people watching this stream. And I just want to say thank you very much for all the support. Okay. Now, this is an article that I came across. Talking about 9. So I'm just going to go over them briefly. Number 1, dress comfortably. Flying is one of the things where you need to prioritize comfort over everything else, especially on flights that are in the 10 plus hour range. One easy way to make your flight more comfortable is to wear the right kind of clothing. Tracking, leggings, cotton t-shirts, hoodies, and lightweight sweaters are all great options, especially you can't really wear pajamas on a flight unless you are in first class. That's a little joke. Okay. However, don't forget your feet. Make sure that your shoes are worn in and as comfortable as possible. Don't make the mistake of wearing brand new shoes on a long haul flight. Ladies, keep those heels in your luggage. Okay, do not be shy. Ask to be reseated. Okay. If you're not happy with the seat you're chosen, the best thing to do is to ask about seating options at check-in. Of course, it's always better to book seats as far ahead as possible. However, things always change on a plane, and seats often become available over time. Okay. So if it is a priority to you, keep asking too. Ask at the airport check-in desk, ask at the person working the gate, ask the flight attendants once you boarded the plane. You never know what's possible, especially since all of them have the power to move you around. And who knows, you might even get the dream aisle seat next to an empty middle seat. Or a whole row by yourself. And to your flight personnel, you'd be surprised how much courtesy can go. Number 3, carefully choose your seat. It's smart to check websites like Seat Guru when you're choosing your seat, especially for long haul flights. If you're talking about a flight that's an hour or shorter, then it's okay that you don't have enough leg room and you're sitting by the kitchen. The whole thing will be over before you even get annoyed. However, with long haul flights, a little extra leg room is the difference between a good hour's sleep and swollen feet upon arrival. Upon choosing a seat, also consider your priorities. Do you want to be closer to the exit so you can get off the plane faster? Or do you want a window seat so you can admire the view and rest your head against the cabin wall? Okay. Number 4, ask for an upgrade. Whenever you arrive at check-in, have a polite conversation with the attendant about the seating situation. and if possible, for you to upgrade your seat using frequent flyer miles by auction or just some extra cash. Let me just share with you something that happened, mm, let's see, 27 years ago. Okay. Uh, I was visiting Orlando and I was getting on the plane, heading back to the New York. So then I was offered an upgrade for first class for only $50, which of course I took advantage of. Of course, there must be a lot of empty seats in first class, so I took advantage of it. So just something to consider. Having your ticket upgraded can also get you long access and priority boarding. Imagine while everyone's waiting in line, you could be enjoying free espresso and some actual edible airport food. How's that for more comfortable? Okay. Number five, aim for airline status. Having a status with your airline can be very rewarding and lucrative. It is also a sure way to make every flight more comfortable and enjoyable. Airline status means you possible upgrades to business or first class, lounge access, and shorter waiting times. Unfortunately, this is one of the few airline trips that you really can't do much on that day. All you can do is with a lot of airtime, uh, uh, do is a lot of same airline ahead of time. The only way you can have airline status is to rack up those frequent flyer miles until you reach your required amount. Okay. Number six, apply for the TSA Precheck. One of the best airline tips for US residents is to apply for TSA Precheck or Global Entry, as it's sometimes called, especially when you fly regularly. It will save you lots of time and make all your flights more comfortable. You can submit an online application, um, $85 fee, and global entry is $100 for a 5-year membership. It may seem expensive, but it's absolute bargain for the amount of time that you save at the airport. Okay, now let me just give you a little secret. Um, for those who are um, physically challenged, in other words, you're not able to walk due to some sort of condition, ask for a wheelchair. One thing I noticed, it makes the time less time you spend on checking, and I found that out when I went to Mexico 3 years ago. Now, another thing you can do is pack snacks. Um, let's face it, airplane meals are nothing like what your mother used to make. They're usually far from the healthiest option, let alone tastiest. So your best bet is to pack your own snacks. That way you have options, even if the meal's okay. You might be hungry later or decide to eat once you wake from a nap. Okay. Another handy tip is to order a vegetarian meal, even if you are self-proclaimed carnivore. They usually are higher quality and you're more likely to be one of the. Number eight, charge your electronics at home. On the de- in this day and age, your electronic devices are the key to making your flight more enjoyable. Watching a good TV show or gaming a few hours away is the easiest way to make time fly by. However, it's not going to be happen. Make sure all your devices are fully charged before you head to the airport. Another thing I would second recommend, carry portable chargers and make sure that they're fully charged. So therefore, in case you need to, add some juice, it's there. Number nine, always bring entertainment. If you anything like me, then to go by as fast as possible. That means that you will need an activity that will find both fun and engaging. Whether it be watching three movies in a row, binge watching an entire season on Netflix, or devouring a good book, make sure that you have enough options to keep you entertained for the length of the flight. Otherwise, time can tick very, very slowly. Okay. And consider noise canceling headphones. The difference between a nightmare flight and one you enjoy can be as simple as bringing noise canceling headphones. Even though some airlines will distribute earphones for free, they're usually cheap and nasty and not great at drowning out the background noise. Imagine this scenario. You're on a 12-hour flight, you didn't bring any headphones, and your neighbor is extremely talkative. Or even worse, there is a screaming child. Okay, child that doesn't look like he's ever going to get tired. Your only options are the overpriced earplugs that you could buy from flight attendants or jumping out the window mid flight. With good noise canceling headphones, you can just put on an audiobook, music playlist, or a good movie and forget all the mayhem around you. Quality headphones will also drown out all the engine noise, which is most important when you want to catch a few hours of sleep too. Number 11, bring a reusable water bottle. The key to staying comfortable on a long flight is hydration. There's nothing worse than a tickle in your throat, especially when there's no flight attendant around. You should drink extra water leading up to your flight and even when you're in the air. You cannot bring a gallon of water from home. The best thing is to bring a reusable water bottle that you can easily fill up once you pass the security check. That way, when you run out of water on the plane, you just ask the flight attendant to fill it for you. It will likely help you as long as the supply on board allows it. So wait until the little space small and you're good to go. Number 12. Hydrate your skin too. The pressurized air inside the cabin is incredibly dry and it's not great for your skin. After a long flight, you might feel like you wash your face with sandpaper. Prepare yourself for that. Bring a moisturizers on the flight and maybe even a sheet mask if you can. Lip balm is also a good idea because your lips will dry out sooner than your face. Make sure that the moisturizer you decide to bring is in accordance with the TSA rules. Meaning it needs to be in packaging of 100 milliliters, 3 ounces or less. Okay. Number 13, don't wear contacts. I cannot stress this one enough. Wearing glasses instead of contacts lenses on a flight, it can't be the difference of relaxing flight and having to rush to the optometrist as soon as you land. The dry air inside the camera will dry up the contact lenses and causing them to stick to your eyes. Not only is this really uncomfortable, imagine what happens when you try to remove them afterward. If you absolutely must wear contacts, just make sure to keep your eye from drying out with regular use of hydrating eye drops. Maintain personal hygiene. Making yourself even a little more comfortable on a long flight can be as simple as freshening up mid-flight. We all start to feel a little gross after a few hours on a flight. After all, you're stuck in a giant metal tube with no way to shower or access fresh air. So when you start to feel icky, just head to the bathroom and freshen up. Wash your face, put some fresh deodorant, and maybe even brush your teeth. You can put on a fresh shirt. Feeling nice and clean will help you stay comfortable, and your neighbors might thank you for it. This is something I never knew. Number 15, wear compression socks. Compression socks help regulate the blood flow in your legs, and they are particularly useful on longer flights, especially when if you should have issues with swelling in your feet or ankles. Good quality compression socks will keep the blood flowing in your legs, and they can be the difference between smiling as you leave the plane at your destination or painfully dragging your feet down the aisle. Number 16. Organize your day pack. When you get to the airport, you have one important goal. Board the plane as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And if you act like a headless chicken when you reach the TSA checkpoint, not only you failed yourself, but you'll potentially make yourself a target of a special security search. That's why you want to organize your day pack or carry on down to the very last detail instead of storing everything inside. Remember, when you get to the security checkpoint, you have to take out your laptop and toiletries. So put them somewhere easy to reach and not at the bottom of the bag. The better organized you are, the faster you get through security and board the plane. Now, let me just share with you something that happened, and it's kind of funny. Um, I was traveling with a group of people to Panama, and we had arrived at Panama City to catch our flight to return to New York. Now, one of our party was concerned because she thought she might have overpacked. So I said, so we tried to tell her you can do a little restricting, whatever. Unfortunately, the more that we tried to tell her to relax, she got more upset, and she was picked up by the security, and she had to do some last minute arrangement. Why? Because she created attention to herself. Okay. Number 17. Move around on layers. The biggest mistake that you can make on a layover is sit in the lounge and stare at your plane. Take the opportunity to stretch around, walk around, and maybe even a light exercise if it is possible. Do anything you can to get the blood flowing. You can sit again once you board the plane again. Now it's time to move. If you spend the time waiting for the next plane sitting around, you're more likely to increase any pain or tiredness, especially if you have swollen feet. Okay. This is something that's very important. Number 18. As before reclining your seat. If there's a person sitting next to you, it's not okay just to recline your seat whenever you please. Imagine the person in front of you, you did that. Not only would you make a fatal for any electronics you have on the train, not to mention your in-flight meal. If you're lucky enough that there's no one behind you, recline away. If you are if you're in a window seat, if you are in an aisle seat, then and there's someone in the row behind you, you still need to ask the person if it's okay. Maybe they want to use the bathroom or have something on their train or their seat. Or they are claustrophobic and they will ruin the entire flight if you're in recliner seat. In any case, don't do anything that you wouldn't want others to do to you. And always check before reclining your seat. You might even make a new friend. And number 19, bring a blanket and a pillow. If you plan to sleep during the flight, you will need a blanket and a pillow to make yourself as comfortable as possible. Most airlines will provide you with a blanket and pillows on long flights. But it's always a good idea to bring your own, especially if you're concerned about who used the pillow before you. If you do not want the hassle of packing a blanket or you don't have enough space in your carry-on, at least pack a supported neck pillow. You will be far more comfortable and you will avoid any nasty neck pain and soreness once you wake from your nap and manage. And what we're gonna do, okay. Um, I'm also going to give you. Let's see. I think okay. We have a comment. Good evening. Oops. Okay. Good evening, Fulana. It's always a pleasant to see you in the chat. I hope you're enjoying this little video. Okay. Now, there's some other things that you can do to make your flight comfortable. Well, make sure you give yourself plenty of time to arrive at the airport. Okay. Now, generally speaking, when it comes to domestic flights, they recommend that you get to the airport 2 hours prior to your flight, or if you're talking about an international flight, 3 hours. Um, this is just me, of course. This is just me. I usually give myself an extra hour. Why? Because the fact of the matter is, you never know what's the situation. It could be a long time in check-in because you be traveling in a day where there's many people are flying. Just to give you some ideas, if you're traveling like the day before Thanksgiving or the day before Christmas, you can rest assured the line in security is going to be very, very long. For that reason, try to give yourself a little extra time just to make sure that you get to your flight. Okay. Also, bear in mind, trying to pack as light as possible. I know sometimes people want to pack certain clothing because they think they're going to wear them. Half the time, they don't wear the clothing. So try to pack as light as possible. And once you get to your destination and what have you, make sure, of course, you let a loved one know that you got there safely, whether it be a spouse or a family member or a friend or whatever. Okay. And one thing I do, um, the clothes that I'm not going to use during after the first day, I start to put it in my luggage. So therefore, the last day, um, I don't have a lot to pack because I already started packing little by little by little. I just want to appreciate the fact that we have gotten 4 likes, and I do appreciate um, all those who have been supporting the channel. I just want to say thank you very much. We got I got a new subscribers, so I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the fact that all the people who have subscribed to the channel. I hope you find that this content is very informative and useful. Now, what we're going to do is, before we go, I'm going to share something. Okay, just give me a moment. This is an article I came across today, and I'm going to put it under the title, What the Heck is This? Do is I'm going to share you the article. Just give me a moment, and hopefully my Wi-Fi won't get hinky again. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just give me a moment. Okay. Now, Actually, I came across this article in the New York Post today, which Albert Pujols Okay. I apologize for the Wi-Fi, but let me just give you uh, my point of view. Even though some people may not want it, I'm going to give it nevertheless. It's never a good thing to end a marriage, but filing for a divorce after your wife has undergone surgery to remove cancer from her brain, that's not a good thing. Um, of course, we do not know what happened. We do not know why the marriage ended the way it did. Nevertheless, we do hope for the best for Albert Pujols and his wife. Um, Now, before I end this video, I just want to let everybody know that this Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, we're going to have another live stream of which the topic is going to be how to select a capable therapist. The reason why we're having this discussion so that it's inform people what one should consider when they're seeking therapy and trying to get a capable therapist. I just want to again, I thank everybody who has supported me, whether it be from the beginning or within the last few weeks. Um, I do appreciate everything. I also appreciate, criticism because no one's perfect. So I'm gonna ask you to please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I prepare content, you'll be notified. Um, I'm sure there'll be people that are going to watch this in the playback. So that being said, I just want to say, have a good night. Take care. And of course, I'm going to close the same way I always close. People, do not let the errors of the past damage your future. And we must do everything possible to minimize our contact with the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. That being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense. Take care and peace.
Be strong.